Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine and chilly morning? Me, I feel like the finish line is now in sight. We're just a few days away from our 200th consecutive show and perhaps a bit of a pre-Christmas slowdown before we start the big push all over again in the new year. But there is still plenty to get through. My predictions of the news stream slowing down proved to be completely unfounded. So let's roll that intro and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It's Monday, the 29th of November, and as that remarkably persistent guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, Rye Demolition goes to work. We've got when blasts go bad, we've got blasts that go well. And the most searched term on Demolition News in 2021 is going to shock you, I think. We'll get to all of that in just a second. But before we do, let's pause a while to see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days.
Happy birthday!
And it's many happy returns to Austrian physicist Christian Doppler. I know he's famous, but what effect did he have? Those that know will know. Happy birthday also to author C.S. Lewis of Narnia fame and to comedian Gary Shandling as well. And also to actors Andrew McCarthy from The Brat Pack and Don Cheadle from other stuff. And to a footballer who apparently enjoys nothing more than playing away, Mr. Ryan Giggs. Many happy returns to them, one and all. While some of us, and when I say some of us, I mean me, while some of us are eyeing the calendar and looking forward to Christmas and an opportunity to rest and regroup for the year ahead, some are going right down to the wire. Even though the Christmas decorations are up and Slade are back on the radio, those fine folks at Rye Demolition are still hard at work. And I'm going to prove that in just a second by showing you exactly what they're up to at the NGE Pie Stock site right about now. That's another terrific job from our friends over at Rye Demolition. Great to see an Okada cracker from LDH Attachments in action too.
Adolph and Svantec are your high-end partners for noise, vibration, dust and air quality systems, sensors and software. To find out more, visit axoft.co.uk or call 01234 639 550.
Quarry operator Breeden Trading has been fined £300,000 after blasting works at a Welsh quarry sent rocks flying into site buildings and beyond the danger zone. Llandudno Magistrates Court heard that on the 15th of January 2020, a blast saw fly rock from the operation land 270 metres away, puncture the roof of an occupied work shed and put a hole in the outside pane of the occupied manager's office skylight window. An HSE investigation found that there were poor stemming practices, the written specification was prepared after the firing of the blast, and an inadequate danger zone was in place. As a result, there was projection of fly rock outside of the danger zone that caused the quarry operative to run for cover and put other employees at risk when the roof of the shed they were working in was punctured. Breeden Trading of Derby pleaded guilty to safety breaches and was fined £300,000 and ordered to pay £2,534 in costs. That's a blast that went horribly awry. We're going to show you something a little more controlled immediately after this.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
Here in the UK, we've got the Armac Group, which proudly sports the nickname the Bridge Busters. Over in Italy, meanwhile, a company called Nitrex deserves the nickname the Bridge Blasters. Take a look at this. I don't speak Italian, but I think the term for that is bellissimo. Right, it's time for me to put on my shocked and serious face because what I'm about to tell you genuinely did come as a surprise to me. Before I get into the meat of things, allow me to explain. I monitor the analytics and stats relating to DemolitionNews.com pretty rigorously. I wouldn't say I look at them on the hour, every hour, but fairly close. I know how many people visit the site each day, where in the world they're located, how many pages they look at, and how long they stick around. But when we get close to the end of the year, I look at the stats even more closely as I use them to inform our countdown of the most viewed, most liked, and most shared stories of the past year. Now, we're not actually doing that countdown this year because our switch to primarily video has rather queered the results. But regardless of all that, I looked at the stats this weekend, much as I normally do at the end of each year. It came as no surprise to learn that our video content was the most popular facet of the website, or that while the US was our greatest source of website traffic, those in the UK tend to hang around just a little bit longer. In fact, after 14 years, none of the stats surprised me, apart from one. I am able to see the most popular search terms used on DemolitionNews.com. Let me be clear, this is not the search term that brings visitors to the website. This is the search terms used by people when they're actually on the site already. In previous years, the most popular search terms have included demolition accident, high reach excavator, demolition jobs, and no great surprise, didcot. This year, however, the most searched term on DemolitionNews.com was a single word, and that word was collusion. That term has been searched on the website every single month of this past year, but in the past 6 or 7 weeks, it's been the single most searched term by a country mile. Now, we all know that the Competition and Markets Authority has been scrutinising the UK demolition industry for the past 2.5 years or thereabouts. So it's understandable, I guess, that those within the industry are searching for more information. We also know that Demolition News is the only publication with the balls to report on that ongoing investigation. So maybe indirectly we have become the go-to resource for all things CMA related, even though the updates have been somewhat few and far between. And there is also some suggestion that an announcement from the CMA is imminent. We were previously told an announcement was due in September 2019, and then there were rumours that we might get an update in October 2021. Neither of those came to pass, but I guess that might explain why there's been such a spike in activity, in the search activity rather, on DemolitionNews.com in recent weeks. Now, there are some rather, within the UK demolition industry that would have us all believe that any talk of a CMA investigation is a work of fiction, a clickbait campaign to get more eyeballs on Demolition News. But I've personally spoken to several companies that have had their offices raided and had their mobile phones and laptop computers seized as part of that investigation. I know that the investigation initially focused on 6 or 7 high-profile companies, although word on the street suggests that the net has now spread far wider since. And I've also heard of companies that have made sizable financial contingencies should they be found guilty of any form of wrongdoing or irregularity. Sadly, none of this explains why there's been such an upsurge in searches for the term collusion in recent weeks, unless, of course, a decision really is imminent. But I'm not going to hold my breath. In past years, when the most popular search term on DemolitionNews.com was accident, I sensed that that was through a mix of morbid fascination and there but for the grace of God go I relief. And maybe it's the same with the term collusion. Maybe some are just fascinated by the fate that might yet befall their contemporaries and their rivals. And maybe some are just relieved that they're not scheduled to be caught in the crossfire.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, that pretty much wraps up today's show. I'm off to get my booster jab later today. Assuming that works out and I don't take a funny turn as a result, I'll be back here on the morrow, usual time, usual place, for yet more of this old stuff and nonsense. And now, just almost as if we planned it, we've had a comment in from Neil Edwards. And while we're talking Neil Edwards, here we go. On Wednesday's show, which is our show number 199, we will be joined by regular guest Neil Edwards of the Builders Conference to look back over the construction contract awards for November 2021 and possibly to look forward to the industry's prospects for 2022. I did take a very, very quick look over there this morning at the BC Live League table, and I'm somewhat relieved to see that it has actually bust the £4 billion benchmark, which we've become used to. So pleasing to report that, particularly as November and December are traditionally fairly quiet months. And then obviously on Thursday, we will be celebrating our 200th consecutive episode. So I certainly hope you can join us for that. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. But until then, stay safe, stay warm, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. And thanks for watching.